This solo developer is earning $60,000 per month with his AI PDF chat app. And this other dev just earned $250,000 per year with his app called SiteGPT. And this one is earning $150,000 every month for his AI logo generator. I've rebuilt every single one of these apps in just a few hours using a simple tech stack. To build the first app, an AI that allows you to chat with any website, we need to set up the right architecture. First of all, I use Next.js for all my projects. It's my weapon of choice. It's a React framework that comes with a bunch of nice functionalities. The UI will have two things: one input field where the user can write the URL of the website, and then a chat area where they can chat with the website. When the user enters the website, it's gonna send a request from the Next.js client-side application to the internal Next.js API route to scrape the data. Because the first thing we need to do is we need to scrape all the text of the website and store it in a variable. You can use Puppeteer for this and then set it up as a Next.js API route. I had never built a scraper before. I had never used Puppeteer before. So I just went on ChatGPT and I asked, hey, can you build me a super simple scraper? It generated all the code for me. I think I just had to do like a very tiny small modification. And then I'll be honest, I just took that code. It worked and I had my scraper built like this. But once you have all the text of the website stored in a variable, you need to take this plus the question that the user is asking in the chat and send all of that to your AI. So I'm building another Next.js API route for the chatting. And this one, what it's going to do is basically it's going to add an extra prompt and then it's going to send all of this to Mistral AI. It's a competitor to OpenAI, like an open source competitor. And honestly, it's pretty good. It's a lot cheaper than using OpenAI. And for most people, they're not going to tell any difference. Like they're not going to see that, oh, like you're using this open source model or using GPT-4. Performance is very, very similar. And this is what my app looks like, an AI that allows you to chat with any website that you want. The next app is the one that makes $60,000 per month. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video so far, consider subscribing. This app is the $60,000 AI PDF chat app. To build this one, very similar. Again, we're going to use Next.js. For the UI, I need two parts to my screen. So on one half of the screen, I'm going to have an area to drop a PDF and to visualize it, like to preview it. And then I need to be able to extract the text from it. So I'm going to do all of it on the client side, actually, to make it simpler and faster. I'm going to use a library called PDF.js. It allows me to extract all the text from it. I'm going to store that in a string. Then whenever the user asks a question to the chat, I'm going to take that PDF text together with that question and send that to an API endpoint that is going to be responsible for the chatting. And here you're going to notice that it's actually very similar to the other app that I just talked about, SiteGPT, because it's essentially the same thing, right? In SiteGPT, we had the text of a website together with questions of the user, and we send all of that as part of a conversation with an AI. And with the PDF chat app, it's the same thing. Instead of having the text of a website, we're going to have the text of a PDF, but then the chatting is the same thing, right? So we're going to send all of this information to an API endpoint that we have internally, like a Next.js endpoint. We're going to add a bunch of extra prompts to it to make it better. Use our API key there and then send all of this to Mistral AI. Again, I'm using Mistral for both of them just because it's a lot cheaper. And this is what the final version of my app looks like. You can just drag and drop a PDF there. It's going to read it. You can ask any questions that you want on any of the pages. And you can actually even drop PDFs that are in different languages. This is like a Japanese PDF and you can ask any questions you want on it. The next app is the AI logo generator. It's the one that brings $150,000 per month. So in order to rebuild this one, I actually wanted to make something pretty simple and I wanted to make something a bit more unique because those logo generators, a lot of people have already done them before. So I was thinking, what if I just build an application that creates illustrations in the style of Visualize Value? Visualize Value, in case you're not familiar, is this brand that creates those hyper minimalistic visualizations of different ideas and concepts. So I wanted to build an app that would allow me to generate illustrations like this because I think it's pretty catchy and people would be interested in like using an app like this. So I have a simple architecture, a Next.js client with one input field where a user just types an idea. Then it takes that text, sends it to a DALL-E 3 API, adds like a very complex prompt to just try to get as close to as possible to a Visualize Value type illustration. And then it just sends back the image to us. That's it. Very simple. It's like a dark theme front end with one input field. I'm using Clerk for authentication and I'm using Upstash for rate limiting because I don't want people sort of abusing the API, right? Like image generation APIs, they're a lot more expensive than just text generation. So I implemented a rate limiting using Upstash. And I limit it to 3 requests per day. So users have 3 requests that they can use every 24 hours for free. One thing though that I would have improved if I had a little bit more time, because this app I literally built it in a day. Actually, technically even in a few hours because I'm reusing a template code that I have and I use it to just speed up all my projects. Instead of using DALL-E 3, I would have used fine-tuned stable diffusion. On their API, you can fine-tune models. I think if I would have provided like a bunch of illustrations like in the Visualize Value style to that model and just trained it, fine-tuned it, it could have even generated better results than DALL-E. Maybe it's something I'm gonna do later when I have time. My students actually build a similar idea, like a literal an AI logo generator as part of the Codebender bootcamp, and you can see basically how it works here. Apps like this are actually a lot easier to build once you have the right tools. So this is exactly what they teach as part of the bootcamp. Codebenders, thank you for watching, and always remember, if you want to win in this era of AI, you need to start building AI applications. You need to start building and using this technology and having the right mindset. I'm creating a community of Codebenders who have this exact way of thinking. If you want to join us, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm gonna see you soon. And if you want to start your path now to become an AI developer, I've created this specific roadmap for you. Check out this video right here.